Hi there, I'm going to show you how to play We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together by Taylor Swift. It's kind of a nice one to learn how to play some basic chords, some strumming, and there's a neat little picking pattern at the beginning. So here's how the rhythm of the song is going to go essentially. Okay, so we'll talk about the strum. First thing I'm going to do is talk about these chords though. The main chord I'm playing in the beginning here is called a C add 9. Now if you know how to play a plain old C chord, that works just fine as well. To make the song sound a little more like the song though, you'd want to use a C add 9. And the way you do this is you take your first finger, place it on the 4th string, 2nd fret. Take your middle finger, place it on the 5th string, 3rd fret. Take your 3rd finger, place it on the 2nd string, 3rd fret. And put your pinky on the bottom, on the 1st string, 3rd fret as well. Okay, so C add 9, you strum the bottom 5 strings. You don't strum the 6th string. What's nice about this is then to get to G, all you need to do is take these 2 fingers and move them up to the 6th and 5th strings. So this is what many people refer to as a 4-finger G. You might know how to play a 3-finger. The big difference here is just you're adding on obviously another finger. So on this G chord, I've got my 1st finger on the 4th string. The 5th string. I've got my middle finger on the 6th string. I've got my 3rd finger on the 2nd string. And I've got my pinky down here on the 1st string. So if you've never done that before, you're just switching between G and C by simply moving these fingers back and forth. Okay. These 2 just stay there the entire time. So C, you strum the bottom 5. G, you strum all 6. Then we move on to the D chord, and then to the E minor chord. Okay, so again, watch carefully. I'm going to play this a little slower here. I've got C, so that's the basic idea throughout the entire song, is just doing that same chord progression over and over and over. And again, remember, you could use a regular C, and you could use a 3-finger G, and it would be just fine. Okay? I'm just showing you what seems to sound more appropriate to the song. But the main goal for you is just to make sure you're having some fun with it. So whether or not you're playing C like this or C like this, don't really worry about it too much. Just enjoy the song. Now the strum, what I want you to do to get kind of a flavor for the strum, I want you to scratch with me. And scratching is done by touching all 6 strings with your hand like this. And when you strum, see, I'm just lightly touching them. So I'm getting this deadened sound like this. I'm not pressing on them. I'm just touching them. So that way I can just practice the rhythm aspect of my playing. Instead of trying to make the chords and then strum to it, what I suggest to most of my students, the first thing that you do is you start off by just scratching to the songs. And the goal to rhythm all the way around for a guitar player is to keep that arm moving back and forth as you strum. Don't start and stop and speed up and slow down. You get this really sort of jagged sound to the strumming. All you want to do is keep the arm moving and simply move away from the strings when you don't want to hear a strum. And again, I have lots of other videos that discuss this sort of thing. It takes a little while to get used to, but that's where this strum is going to come from. Okay, so my hands are really working independently of each other. Okay, I've got this constant strumming movement in my hand, in my right hand, and then my left hand, what I'm doing is I'm thinking about C, G, D, E minor, kind of back and forth like that. Okay? So that's basically the song, and that's why I want to discuss this, is it's pretty easy. So now let's talk about the intro. If you want to take it up a level, the beginning, what we're going to do here is just strum the C, and then what you can do is you can just kind of tap your guitar and stop the guitar strings. So you can kind of hit it like karate chop in the guitar. You just want to stop those strings. Okay, then we're going to move on to the little picking pattern over the G, the 4-finger G, and it looks like this. Okay, so let me put the 2 together, C and G, so it sounds like this. Okay, Okay, and when I'm doing that picking pattern over G, I'm plucking the 6th string, sorry, the 3rd string first, then the 6th string, then the 4th string, 3rd, 2nd, so it sounds like this. Okay, now when you pick single notes, again, you might cup your hand and pick like this, or you might open up your hand and kind of grab onto the guitar, as a lot of guitar players do, to sort of stabilize your hand movements a little bit. Makes it a little easier to keep the rhythm consistent and which strings you're plucking and that sort of thing. So the second half of that picking pattern, I'm going toward the ceiling here. I'm going 2, 3, 4. So the whole thing sounds like this, over the G chord. So over the C, I just strummed once and stopped the strings. Then I'm going to go to G and do that pattern. Then I'm going to head over to D, strum that once and stop the strings. Then I'm going to go to E minor and I'm going to do that same picking pattern. So exact same strings. The only difference is, of course, I'm playing it over the E minor. So nice and slow, let me play the whole little thing here, the whole intro. Okay, makes sense? So let's try that together, okay? So get ready on that C at 9, strum it, and stop the strings. And then get ready on G. Always remember, you can stop it and just practice that over and over and over. Then we go to D, stop the strings, go to E minor, pluck the pattern. And again, always keep in mind that you're doing the same picking pattern. It's just you're doing it over a different chord. So those are the basic essentials to that song. Good luck, and I've got a bunch more videos coming. If you have any questions about anything, please get a hold of me through YouTube or through the guitarzoom.com website. Thank you very much.